And welcome to lesson number 10 in Learn How to Code with Python. And in lesson number 9, I already said that by now you have all the skills that you need to build something useful. And in this lesson, I will see if I can show you something interesting that you can build yourself with all the knowledge you have. And as an example, I will show you how to get some data from Yahoo Finance and store it on your machine for later usage. So to show this, I've opened the Yahoo Finance page on the S&P 500 historical data tab. And on this tab, you see all the prices of the last few months, and you can download this data. So you can download this just by clicking it. It will download it to your file system, and then you can use it. This is how you would do it manually, but I will show you how to do this with a Python script. So let's click on the link and to get it, we'll copy it and then go to the script editor. And what I will do first, I will say the URL that I've just copied is this one, closing the quotes. And then to download data from this URL, we will need to import a library, and that is the URL lib library and .request .request. You can look up which libraries do what by going to the documentation. Let me show you. You can go to Python docs. It will open in the browser the Python documentation, and then you can go to modules and you see all the modules. Of course, you need to know which one you should use, and I will probably make some videos about some useful libraries for you to use. And in this case, I'm showing you to use the URL lib library, which is down here at the URL lib. We're using the request library, and here you can read what it does. But I will show you what it does and how you can use it in the most simple way. So we will save the data to a variable, store the data to a variable, and we will do this by calling URL lib .request .url open, and then we will open the URL. So this will create a object of the call to the URL and store it in the data. So if you run this, it will not show anything, but let's just see if it runs. Yes, no errors, so everything is fine. So let's see what we have taken from the web. By printing it out, we will print out the data. Data. Let's see what this does. Okay, so it prints out the string representation of a request, of a response. Yes, so that's not very useful. So we do not want to have the string representation of the request. We want to have the value that's in it. And so we need to read it. So we need to read the data, and that's done by the read function, calling read on data. So we will read the data, and this will be printed out. So now I expect a whole list of data to be shown on the screen. Let's see if that's correct. And there you have it. That's data from Yahoo with the date, open, high, low, close. Okay, so far so good. Now let's structure this this code a little bit and also add the functionality that we will write it to a file. Let's first implement the writing to the file. So to do this, we will instantiate a document by doing open, and then this is let's say Yahoo Finance .csv. It's a comma separated data, and we will make it writable. Yes. So this opens or instantiates an object with a file on the file system, and now we will write the data to this file, which we will do like so. We will do doc.write data.read, and then we close the document. Doc.close. So we don't need the print statement anymore. I could delete the print statement, but using the hash I can also comment it out, and it will not be executed but only readable for me. So let's put the code a little bit close together in one block. So let's run this first and see if we indeed have a file that's called Yahoo Finance and that the data is in there. So let's run it. Type error, write argument must be string, not bytes. Okay, so we have to data.read and we make it a string. Yes. Let's run it again. Okay, let's see. My home folder. Do we have a file here? Yahoo Finance. Yes, here it is. And let's open it. Let's open it in a text editor. And there we have it. Okay, this is not the way I expected it to be. Let's see if we can open this in LibreOffice. No. Let's do it differently. So let's read it line by line. Yes, let's comment this out. Let's not write to the document, but let's read this document in a loop line by line. So let's say for each line in the data dot read lines. You haven't seen this before, but the read lines will read in from the request that's been handled, and it will read it into a dictionary. So if we print here the line, then it will read the data line by line, and we will print it out. So let's check this first. Yes, there we have it. We see that it has new lines. So we can get rid of these new line symbols by stripping it. Dot strip. Let's run again. Okay, so there's no new lines anymore. And what I also notice is that the data is in byte format, so it's printed out and we can see it, but the B here means that it's byte. So it's binary form and not in string form. So let's see if we can cast it to a string. No. So I had to figure out what was going on here, and in order to get the data type transformed to actual text of the data, we have to decode it. That's something I hadn't seen before. So that can be done by using the decode method. Decode to UTF-8, like so. So now what we've done here is we go through the data line by line, and we strip all the new lines from it, and then we decode the line, which is in byte form, and we decode it to UTF-8, so then it becomes text. So let's check this. And as you can see now, it's just text. So actually we don't need to go through the code line by line. So let's comment that out. And let's go back to our previous setup. Hope you're still with me. So here we have the data that we read in. And instead of casting it to a string, we need to decode it. So we do not decode it, but we do not cast to a string, but we decode it. So this should write to Yahoo Finance the string of what's in the data. So we read it, we decode it, and then we close the file, and we take it from the URL. So let's run this again. Okay. So that doesn't give any output, but now this file should have properly formatted data. So it's a comma separated file now with the date, open, high, low, close, volume, and adjusted close. Let's see if we can open this in LibreOffice, and it looks like everything's okay, comma separated. Here we go. So we've pulled the data. So one of the things that computers and programs are good at is doing this repetitively. So because you might say, oh, it's easier to just download it manually and then open it in Excel or in LibreOffice. Don't save. Okay. But what we can do now, we can make a function of this. Let's first get rid of the code that we don't need, and this function we can use for maybe other symbols. Now we're pulling this symbol, but we could also make a function that we could just give the symbol and then pull the data, and that can be done easily like so. So we do the define function. We can call it get data, and then use a ticker symbol as the argument, and then we indent this code like so. And then if we call this get data, and then we have the same situation as before. So let's change this a little bit. Let's say we want to get Apple, for instance, and then this ticker needs to be replaced here. So here we will use the format function on text. So we use the placeholder, the opening and closing of the curly brackets, and then at the end we do dot format, and then we say ticker. Let's go back. Oh, there we go. So now if we run this, it will get the data from Apple. Maybe we should change our code a little bit, because now we store it to this file, Yahoo Finance.csv, and make this maybe Yahoo Finance underscore and then the ticker symbol. Dot format, and we do ticker. So now we have a function that pulls data from Yahoo Finance and saves it to a CSV file with the ticker name in the file name. So let's run this. Let's see if we get this file and if everything is okay. Okay. Okay, it gives a 404. Did I have a wrong ticker? I think so. Apple is a... let's see. Let's look up Apple. Let's do... yeah. PL... maybe it has to be capitalized specifically. AAPL. Let's run this. Not found. Let's print out the URL to see what's if we made a mistake somewhere. Okay. AAPL. Oh, I see we have the caret symbol in it, and that's still part of the S&P 500 ticker symbol. So this needs to be removed. So if we do run it like this, it should work. So let's run it. And there you have it, no errors. Let's see if we have the file. We have here Yahoo Finance AAPL. Let's look at it. And there we have it. Is this different from the other one? Yes, it's different. So here we have an example of a function that can be called and get the data from Yahoo Finance. To elaborate on this, we could also call this repetitively, this function, by looping over a list of symbols that we want to fetch. So let's do this for the ticker in tickers. Get the data for the ticker. And then let's make a list of tickers. So the tickers are AAPL. IBM, I believe, is a ticker like so. And what else do we like? Samsung maybe, or the Boston Beer Company, SAM. Let's do that. SAM. So let's see if this will work. We should have 1, 2, 3 files being created, and let's run it. No errors. Let's see, we have the files. We have IBM, SAM, and Apple we already had. So let's look at SAM. What kind of data is that? Okay, there you have it. So this is a way to do something useful, like pulling data from Yahoo Finance and store it on your computer so you can use it later. I hope you found this interesting and helpful. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and leave some comments. And thank you for watching, and see you in another video.